Hello and welcome to Football Fanspire, a talk show that brings you everything about football through the fans, for the fans. A candid conversation about football matches, team performances, your favorite players, all of this and lots more, only on the Football Fanspire. So if you like the show, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. What will we be talking about today? Well, I'm not going to tell you that because I have Gianna who's going to help me co host today. So, over to you, Gianna.
Thank you, Priyanka. On today's hot episode, we will be covering the upcoming Premier League weekend with some really exciting matches to be played, as well as a quick recap of the international break. The Fanspire Fantasy Premier League received an awesome response. Thank you, fans. We have announced our winners for the first four game weeks. You can see our winners on the social media. Before any view, let's take a quick look into the matches, controversies, and much more. In the Premier League this week, we've got Tottenham Spurs versus West Ham United, Leicester City versus Aston Villa, and Leeds United versus Wolves. Before we have a look at the Nations League, let us have a quick bit about what happened in the past week in football. The DFB Pokal, which happened last night, in which Bayern Munich won their first round with new man Chupo, Moting, scoring, and being awarded the man of the match. Also, this week Juventus were given the 3 points after Napoli's no-show in the Serie A 2021 match, which results in the deduction for them. On a short note, let's have a quick recap for the international football. All the teams have played two matches, in which Brazil have won both their matches and are on the top of the table. Peru and Paraguay are in head with a draw. And Chile, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Bolivia are still on the run to grab those points. Whereas England has faced a defeat of 0-1 to Denmark. Germany and Switzerland have been a draw. Ukraine have won over Spain. Croatia have faced a defeat of 1-2 with France. Italy and Netherlands are in draw with 1-1 together. Between now
Thank
and the next international break, we've got three Champions League, three Europa League, El Clasico, Merseyside Derby, Milan Derby, Man United versus Arsenal, Man United versus Chelsea, Man City versus Liverpool, and Dortmund versus Bayern. Stating all of this as the CONMEBOL World Cup continues, we've got Neymar, who has surpassed Ronaldo to become the second highest goal scorer for Brazil. With no further ado, over to you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Gianna. Thanks for taking us through whatever happened, the last few weeks in international football. Definitely, there was a lot of upsets because we saw big, giant countries like Spain, England suffer defeats. With the talent in their squad, that was kind of surprising, but it is what it is in football. And of course, we have a lot of exciting new matches coming up because club football is back. So let's get Vineet, our host, in to get talking to the fan panelists and hear what everyone has to say because we can't wait for it. Over to you, Vineet.
So hi Priyanka, hi Gianna. So yes, international break like Priyanka, you put it perfectly. Football is what it is. You cannot expect. You have to basically expect the unexpected. What can happen, what will not happen. So before we waste too much time, let's quickly get on our Liverpool fan, Chanel. So I would like to welcome Chanel on our show, and if we can have him on screen.
Yep. That.
Hi Chanel.
Hi, Vineet.
So before we start, I still want to know, are you still being trolled for the loss?
Well, yeah, I'm still being trolled for the loss, but that's something that happened 2 weeks ago, and we've already decided. I've told everyone who's told me that what really went wrong with Liverpool, how are we gonna, improve, and how are we gonna change the whole game. And the derby is something for us to bounce back, to get all these Liverpool fans, kill our rivals, and actually make a better impact and go on the top of the table because Everton right now seems to be on top, right?
So how confident are you going into the match?
Well, I'm very confident. Today is the day. Like since the past 10 years, the Merseyside has been red. So it's been 10 years since uh, Everton last won the Merseyside derby. So it's
Yeah.
completely out there. The stats completely say it. And this decade is also going to be a good decade. The Merseyside is going to be red throughout. And the last three Merseyside derbies at Goodison Park were goalless. Well, but I'm sure looking at both our defenses, it doesn't look like a rock solid defense at both ends. So I think it's not going to be a goalless draw very well.
You mentioned being unbeaten in the past 10 seasons, 10 years.
Yes, yes, yes.
So the interesting fact is that Liverpool are undefeated in their last 22 matches against Everton in all
Yes, yes,
competitions, not only the Premier League, in all the competitions they have faced each other. So definitely, currently Merseyside is red, and that's
definitely.
been red for quite a few years. But the form Everton is in, are you still dicey about it? The like, how do you see the whole game going? You said definitely mentioned that there will be goals, but how do you see it going?
Everton is in good form, but who have they played? They've played West Brom, they've played Palace, they've played Brighton. They've played all these teams who never came in the top 10 last season. And if you go to see Pickford at their goal end, we saw what happened in the match against England, how Pickford played and what error led to the goal. So I'm not sure about, you saying that Everton is in top form because they've been not playing good teams. We've been playing all the best teams and we're still, 9 points clear. So it's out there that Everton haven't played the top teams yet, and they need to come out of the bubble needs to be burst. So they need to come out, and play good teams, and then we can see if they can, keep up that form. Well, they have a weak defense as well. We know that Pickford, everyone is not as good as someone who's going to play for the Premier League for a longer time. On the long run, we don't see Everton, actually taking the spot which they are right now.
So you mentioned Pickford being sort of a liability right now for England as well as Everton, but you all have the same issue going now because Adrian is going to be in goal for the next 1 month, if I presume. And
Yes, yes.
seeing his performance against Aston Villa, which no one expected, being almost being relegated last season, then coming to beat the champions 7-2. Like how are you worried that Adrian will again cost many goals?
The match against Aston Villa, what went wrong is we decided that Adrian is going to replace Allison. So we do not expect Adrian to be a sweeper keeper. We do not expect Adrian to give us those passes. We do not expect Adrian to play from back. We need to play him the way he plays normally, and we need to get that high line. I think Klopp has definitely studied us throughout after that loss, and he knows very well if we do not play that high line and we do not have Adrian influence our game that much throughout, I think we are going to definitely win. And we've already seen Adrian playing really well, in saves. Well, he has some of the best saves. If we saw him playing in West Ham some years back, he was good at that. But he's not good at playing the game, passing those balls, involved in the game throughout. So if we do not involve Adrian that much in the game and depend on how Allison plays for us, those counter attacks, how he places the ball, and how well he has his long passes and assists. So I think Adrian is going to be quite better now, and I think Klopp knows that what he's want to play and how he's going to play him. So throughout, and I think the defense didn't help Adrian in the last game, which was against Aston Villa. We saw Van Dijk also, going playing very bad. We saw Gomez playing his worst match, I think, till now. I haven't seen Gomez playing so bad for Liverpool. So I think it's definitely going to be a better game this time and a bounce back for us.
You mentioned the high line being the advantage, but that failed to prove against Aston Villa. That was the thing which cost you all 7 goals because Adrian, as you said, doesn't come off the line. He's not a keeper sweeper. You see in other keepers like Edison in the Premier League itself. Will that actually backfire the high line which they play? Because James in the midfield can obviously search those passes with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin having the pace and Calvert-Lewin being in the form of his life. Won't that backfire for you all, the high line?
I would beg Klopp to not play the high line right now. If looking at how Adrian is playing, but if he decides to play the high line, I would recommend him. That would be my advice to him to play the top three midfielders we have, the top three holding midfielders, I would expect Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson to be there. Because just like how Everton is playing, if you go to see, even though Everton's defense is weak, Everton plays those three holding midfielders, and normally teams don't do that. We have Andre Gomez, we have Allen, and we have Decore playing. So all three holding midfielders, they really play well. So that would be an advice to Klopp. I don't think he's going to play high line, looking at how well Aston Villa exploited that high line. So I think Klopp's coming up with something that's really fascinating, and I think he's going to come up with something new.
So you all are definitely full strength, or if, like other than
Definitely.
Allison, because Mane is back, Thiago is back. What about Henderson? He played the England international match, but is he fit to start for Liverpool?
Well, yeah, he is quite fit to start for Liverpool, and Henderson is a major player in our team. Like last season, we saw when he got injured. Throughout, we lost a lot of games, and Henderson
Yeah.
being as experienced as Henderson, a player we need that player in the team, and how he's going to play well against Everton. And there's one player which you actually forgot to mention. That's Jota. How well he's been playing throughout. We saw his goal against Portugal, right? The way he played, and even though Mane doesn't come off in the first half, and he's not just a backup, so he's definitely a player that's going to take that spot in the first team, and he's definitely going to score a goal if they play him against Everton tomorrow.
So do you think it's time for Firmino to be the backup right now?
No, 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 man. Firmino is the man. We need him. There's no way we're going to win the league, or we're not going to win any match without Firmino. Come on. Firmino needs to be there. He's the silent spectator that's always been there, and he's that kind of striker which actually impacts the whole game. He's not just a traditional striker. He's that false nine which we always needed, and which we always, every team wants a false nine like this.
Definitely. Like a wall pass, you can just give it to him, you can receive it back, create some
Definitely,
chances as well.
definitely. Yes, man.
But Ancelotti has been known, like a tactical manager who sets up his team according to the opponents. Klopp being Klopp and Liverpool being Liverpool, they are not going to change. That's definite. The way they play, they are not going to change. But Everton, I'm pretty sure, are going to drop back a bit. And y'all have faced problems to beat teams this time, or even on the counter, especially like Leeds. Leeds, when they start pressing y'all, it was like 4-3. Lucky. Okay, so let's go back to the Leeds match. Is that lucky for y'all? Was that win
Well,
lucky?
yeah, that was lucky. A big salute to Leeds, the way they've been playing and the way they studied us. I think the arrogance, Liverpool have got this arrogance that we are the current Premier League champions, and knowing that each team is really important. This is the Premier League, and every team studies the other team really well. And
Yeah.
I think Klopp needs to actually work on that part, where to not underestimate any team like Aston Villa or Leeds. And the way Leeds played throughout, how well they played, we got those two penalties out, and they scored some crazy goals. And I do not expect them, Everton, to do that. But I'm very sure that Klopp's not going to play his normal
So
high
you,
line, and I'm very
yeah.
sure he's going to change
So
that.
you expect a win. So you definitely expect a win. What would be the score line, and who would be the scorers, according to
So I
you?
expect it to be 4-3, because looking at both our defense, it doesn't look rock solid. So I expect Mane to score two goals at least, and I expect Salah to score the next two goals, because they have been the deadliest strikers for us. And we also give a salute to Dominic Calvert-Lewin for having 6 goals. He's the top scorer, but let's not forget Salah
Yes.
has 5 goals as well. So for Liverpool, I expect Salah to score two and Mane to score two, and for Everton, I expect Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score two as well, and maybe the one goal by James Rodriguez.
Okay, so you're going for a very high scoring game this time around.
Definitely, definitely.
So, Chanel, thank you so much. Like, it was a delight to interact with you and hear your thoughts on the previous match as well as this. So, thank you so much. As you all
Thank
can see on the screen, Everton versus Liverpool will be played tomorrow itself, the first match back in the Premier League from international break at 5 p.m. So, you all can obviously enjoy the match as well. So, Chanel, I hope that Liverpool do win for you. Okay. As a
you.
neutral
We will.
fan, I just hope that yes, I just hope that as a neutral fan we get some goals.
Definitely, we will.
Yeah. So thank you, Chanel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yes, that was Chanel, and obviously a delight to interact with. And as you all can see, he's very much confident in Liverpool beating Everton, who are currently at top of the table and the only unbeaten side currently in the Premier League. So before we move on to our next segment, let's do our question of the week or question of the episode, which is sponsored by Chups and Bounce. So, and you can, as you can see, their Instagram and Facebook handles. Do give them a follow, do give them a like. Their Instagram, Facebook is a delight to watch as well. So here is the question: which two teams in Italy share the iconic San Siro Stadium as their home stadium? Again, I'll repeat: which two teams in Italy share the San Siro Stadium as their home? A pretty simple answer, pretty simple question. I hope to get many responses. So we'll reveal the answer and the winner at the end of the show. So let's move on to our next segment, which is City versus Arsenal. And for both of them, we have for City we have Austin and Arsenal supporter Mihir. So both can,
Hey,
yes.
hi. Hi, Vineet.
Hi Austin, hi Mihir. I can see
Hi.
both of you all donning the new season jerseys,
Yes,
and
definitely, man.
obviously both look amazing in those, especially
Thanks a
the
lot.
City jersey. I'm particular fan of the jersey. No offense to Arsenal, but yes, I do like the Arsenal jersey as well.
But the new
But
one is better than the away one.
yes, definitely. But the matches are not decided on the jersey, right? So
Right, perfect.
let's quickly move on. Austin, breaking news that De Bruyne won't be featuring. Sterling is a doubt, and y'all are already what 13 first team players plus De Bruyne, no De Bruyne, no Sterling possibly. Is this just the worst time to play Arsenal, right?
Not really because even though De Bruyne and Sterling might be out, we have like Joao Cancelo who's back, Bernardo Silva who's back, and there is a very good possibility that Sergio Aguero might start tomorrow. So that is all that every City fan wants. Like I understand De Bruyne will be a key miss, but then we have a lot of other players who can cover up for him. So that is not a worry for us anymore.
Mihir, do you agree with him? Do you think this is the best time for you to face City with all their key players out?
That's definitely De Bruyne missing this match and Partey coming in. That's the good
Yes,
strain at
definitely.
the midfield. That is too strong for Man City right now. And the
So you
form
see him
Oba is,
starting the match.
yes, he will start. He will definitely start.
And
And the form
so
Oba is in. That's really good sign for Arsenal.
so no other injury concerns for Arsenal, I believe. Tierney
Not yet,
may
not yet.
start as well. Tierney may
He
start
he,
as
he
well.
might start, but that's
Yes.
doubtful. He might start.
So you all are to full strength, whereas basically City is to half of their team, which might just tip the scales in Arsenal's favor.
Hope
But
so. Hope for the best.
seeing seeing past results, City have scored at least 3 goals in their last 3 home matches against Arsenal.
Right.
Three
Yes,
home,
yes,
yeah.
because of the
So
defense earlier, but Gabriel coming in, the defense looked quite strong as compared to previous years.
so you see Gabriel starting as well
Yes.
because he hadn't
Al-
started the last match in the Premier League, the fourth
yes,
game week.
because Holding and Lewis was there, but
Yes.
partnership with Holding will be definitely a great sign for Arsenal and the back four.
So Austin, he mentioned David Lewis starting the last match. Do you think he's your best chance to get something out of the game?
He definitely is. He's like one of those players. He's like basically John Stones of Arsenal, I would say. Like every time he plays, there's a very big possibility that he'll commit a mistake. He'll like do
Yes.
something like which is ridiculous. So that'll help the opposition team. And I think I'm hoping for David Lewis to start tomorrow. Actually, I'm like really hoping.
But I don't think so.
And and you hope that Ruben Diaz is playing as well because obviously
I do.
spending 60 plus million on a defender coming from Portugal, and he did play a match, he did play for Portugal as well. How important was this signing for you and the fans? Like
So
City as a club and the fan?
Right. So ever since Vincent Company, our previous captain, left, there was basically nobody to replace him. We did not sign any potential centre back to replace him. We like Pep actually switched Fernandinho from CTM to centre back, and that did not clearly work. That clearly did not work out because Fernandinho is in his 30s, like mid 30s, and he's not as fast as Company or anybody. And like we've been
Yeah.
lacking like the leadership at the back. So I think Ruben Diaz is one of those guys who brings in like he's like a very strong character, I would say, and like he brings in like the like leadership qualities that we've been lacking. I'm not saying that I cannot compare like Ruben Diaz with Vincent Company, but I do think that there are like similar qualities that he brings in. So that is what we would actually need at this moment.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you didn't find any replacement for company, but there is a rumor that Arsenal is looking for Rave.
Okay, so I believe we have a bit of a connection issue there. But yeah, so moving on, I'll just quickly, you all can quickly tell me, firstly, what are you expecting of the match? Like, how do you see it unfolding, Arsenal versus Man City?
I think so. The scoreline will be Arsenal 2 and Man City
Okay,
1.
okay, and any, players you expect to score in
Of course,
particular?
Oba, and I think so. Pepe should start the lineup and he should score. Being my favorite, I'm
Okay,
the
that sounds
big fan
great.
of Pepe.
Yes, yes. I've been noticing that Arsenal has been, hyping up the signing of Party recently. So, what are your thoughts on that? Are you all excited to
He
have him?
he is a very good midfielding, just like a Patrick Vera. And we just missed Jose Mayor. I think so. We are bidding him in the month of Jan. So most probably he will be joining in the month of Jan because he has already agreed the personal term with Arsenal. So hope for the
Oh,
best. He should join
yeah,
in Jan transfer
definitely.
window.
That would be great for you all, as a team. Always new signings are always exciting. And Austin, so what are you expecting from the match? How do you see the match unfolding, and what are your predictions?
I'm expecting a lot of goals. Like Vineet had mentioned, like City have scored three times in the last three games in the Premier League at Etihad against Arsenal. So I'm obviously expecting goals. One thing I really hope is Sergio Aguero is back. So I hope like he actually gets on the score sheet again and like he gets going
Okay,
because he is the one player who will like carry us forward and like be a very decisive player for us in the title run. I would say so. Goals basically.
great, great.
It should be a
So
high
your
scoring game.
predictions.
It should. It should.
It should be.
Yeah, as a neutral fan in this match, I'll be very excited to watch that. So, Austin, your prediction finally would be
3-1 to City.
3-1.
3-1 to
Okay,
City. Yeah.
and yeah, okay. So, and the expected scorers.
I would like Aguero to score two and one from either Laporte or Ruben Diaz, like from a corner or something.
Okay, okay. But do you think, like, he's fully fit? Aguero's fully fit to be back and playing 90 minutes?
Aguero might not like play the entire game, but then he'll probably play
Hmm.
around like 60 to 70 minutes, and that is enough time for the likes of Aguero to like get two goals. And against Arsenal, I don't see that. Like
Okay, so
that's
you're saying he doesn't need much time. He's just going to be in there and scoring goals.
but
That's
but he's
interesting.
not a number one currently number one finisher for the Pepe. Godiala. Number one choice.
Yeah,
well,
so
yeah.
over to you.
Yeah. So sorry. So some technical issues I faced. Like so, I just heard that obviously we were talking about Aguero coming in, scoring a couple of goals. How do you think Lacazette should be starting Mihir because Nketiah has been in good form for club as well as country. So do you think
But
that Nketiah would be the better starter?
no. Looking at the experience, I think so. Laka should start because he's a very good finisher for France. So,
Okay.
from my side, he should start along with Pepe. And in midfield, in place of Cabulos, Ozil should start because he is my all-time favorite, number 10.
He's definitely everyone's all-time favorite, but seeing the current situation, I again don't see him face. wearing the Arsenal kit anytime soon, unfortunately, because obviously he's a delight to watch when he's on top form. But you mentioned Pepe, so you don't want William to start?
No, 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 because Pepe, paying 72 million for Pepe and not starting in the starting lineup is definitely a bad sign. Because
But
as
you all have
compared to
paid
Willian,
350. But you all are paying 350,000 pounds for Ozil to not even play
Ozil.
a match.
But as Arteta, he likes to give chance to the young players. So basically, he's taking Caballos, Partey, and Methanals on the other side.
So you
That
expect
should
a
be the
three at the
midfield.
back only. So you expect the
Yes.
same formation, no changes.
No. 4-3-3.
Okay. Austin, how do you see the match going? What are your predictions for it?
I predicted 3-1 to City. Two goals from
Yeah.
Aguero and one from either Laporte or Ruben Dias from a corner. If you ask me the formation, like there's nobody in the world who can actually like predict what Pep goes with, because he is somebody who just you cannot read him basically. Like on the match day, he decides
Definitely.
what his team is, and like he just like gambles with the squad. So I cannot like tell you what formation he might play or what players might he might pick. But then yeah, hoping for the best. That's all. That's all actually.
But I think so. Arteta can being under Pepe. He must be knowing a bit.
Right.
So you think Arteta is better than Pep?
Uh,
As compared to Pepe, but he's growing as a coach. As compared to
Definitely, he's
Pepe,
a
he's a
young
quite well
manager yet.
experienced.
He's still a young
In
manager. He's obviously learned a lot.
He has
He's
a
learned
bright
a lot
future
from
for the
obviously
Arsenal.
Pep himself.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
So uh, Arsenal, do you think has the confidence to go and attack City?
Arsenal has always been a one-touch team, so as their game is as similar to Barca. So I think so they should play an attacking more in City because
So
City defense look bit shaky.
so you expect Aubameyang to score? You
Yes, Oba and Pepe.
so you go for a 2-0 or a 2-1 score?
2-1, 2-1.
2-1. So you don't expect
As
a
he
clean
rightly
sheet
said,
as well.
Aguero coming in. No, no, no.
But Aguero has been training for what about 3-4 days, if I'm not wrong, which is obviously not close to match fitness. So it might be tough for Aguero to get on the score sheet as well. But obviously, City, like you mentioned, like Austin mentioned, do have the talent in their squad yet, even without De Bruyne, even if Sterling misses out. So I can expect an attack versus defense game. The same way Arsenal when they faced Liverpool, so more of attack versus defense. But are like what I can say is like how confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10 that City will not score? Mihir, City will not score at all.
City, I will rate 6 because if Jesus would be there, I will definitely score that City will be nil because the finish which Aguero does as compared to Jesus, Aguero is hats off to him because I'm also expecting Aguero to score against Arsenal.
Okay, perfect. So thank you, Mihir. Thank you, Austin, for putting
Thanks a
in your
lot,
views.
Vinik.
Thank you so
I
much.
just hope that we have an interesting match. And as you all can see, this is our big match back in club football tomorrow itself. We will be watching this match at 10 p.m. in Indian Standard Time. So I hope Austin or Mihir, at least one of you all ends up smiling at the end of the day. So thank you all for coming. Thank you both.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Really.
Thanks, guys.
So yes, Priyanka, obviously it was an interesting discussion with both
Yeah,
the
definitely.
both the panelists and
Yeah,
even Chanel of Liverpool.
yeah.
So like before we sign out or we take in the questions from our fans, I would like to again call Gianna on screen.
Thanks, Vineet and Priyanka.
So
It was,
Gianna,
yeah,
how excited are you personally that the club football is back?
I'm indeed very excited. Like, it was a long go, like for the international break and all, and then it came back now. So I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. Priyanka,
I am super excited, like super pumped, because we also have Champions League coming up soon. As
definitely.
Gianna
And
mentioned,
with,
a
I
lot
guess
of
Juventus,
interesting matches.
yes, Juventus and Barcelona play on the first day as well.
Yeah, we have like classic, matches that we wait to watch coming up. So yeah, as a football fan, life is good in the coming weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So, Gianna, you can take over if you have something to say.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
So, thank you
Uh,
guys.
okay, it was amazing to hear from our fan panelists about their teams and the upcoming matches. And surely the matches will be something to look forward for this weekend with Premier League and club football in general back after 2 weeks. This season will be one of the busiest with same number of matches, but will be shorter due to the pandemic, the Euro 21, and the international break recently concluded for. The club season restarts within a couple of days from the end of the Nations League, 2 rounds plus an international friendly in span of 2 weeks, which will affect the club's player situation with fatigue and injuries coming in. But don't worry, we've got you all covered in with the news. Just follow us on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, if you've got any questions, put the questions in the comment section and we'll get them answered right after the revelation of the winner of the episode of the week. To announce the same, I would like to call Priyanka back on stage.
Hi, Gianna. Thank you so much. Thanks again.
Hi.
So let's quickly get into the answer of question of the week. And this question of the week is brought to us by Chup. So shout out to Chup for being there. And yes, let's get into the question. The question was, which teams in Italy share the San Siro Stadium as their home stadium? And the answer is both AC Milan and Inter Milan. So let's have, yes, we have a winner, KC Football. Congratulations on answering the correct answer, giving the correct answer, and answering it first. So do DM us on Instagram so we can give you a well-deserved feature on our social media page. So congrats again and thank you. Great. So, Gianna, I believe there was a lot of chatter happening, a lot of banter, football banter happening in the chat. So let's just quickly take a look if we have any questions for our fan panelists.
Yes,
Do we?
sure.
Oh yes, great. We do have. So Vinny, over to you.
Hi, Dennis.
Yes. Okay.
So,
Hi.
hey.
Yeah.
But selling a mascot, Ozil has uh, Ozil has commented that he is going to pay the all the necessary salary which a mascot uh, will be paid. So Ozil has told that he will be paying the mascot. So I think so mascot will be back as fan will be there at Emirates.
Mihir, just adding on to that question itself.
Yeah.
So, in the recent 1 week, there are lots of rumors of the big picture of the Premier League. I'm not sure if you have
Yes.
heard about it, that a full revamp of the Premier League structure going down till the grassroots level as well, wherein the top six teams will have all the control, which obviously includes Arsenal, where
Okay.
Arsenal came in as a supporter of it when United and Liverpool started out. Basically, just to take over the whole Premier League, the whole FA, sort of. So, where will you get that money to even think of getting the whole, like, because the rumors were 250 million will be divided to the leagues below Premier League, obviously, which will come out of the pockets from the Premier League
Owners.
clubs. So, do you all have that money to get even involved?
Right now, building a new stadium, I don't think so. We have so much of cash, or else we would have spent much on the transfer window. But if our owner expect to invest more, so we can buy good players, we can invest more. But I don't think so right now. Also, we are not qualifying
Obviously,
for
yeah.
Champions League from past 4 years. So that's a big concern.
Obviously, to raise money, you need to sell out some players who would be as fans that okay, if this guy goes, it's all fine, and or maybe he just needs to go. Who are those players for you? I know it's a bit controversial, but I would like to know that.
The highest paid player right now is Ozil. So, so I think so because he's ending his contract in the coming year. So I think so he should go.
But as you mentioned, his contract coming to an end. Do you see him going as
We'll
a free agent?
we won't be signing any contract for him, or we will not be offering any. But if we get
Definitely.
a good
So
buy
he might go out
from
as a free
Saudi,
agent.
uh, we should keep him for one season because being loyal to Arsenal for so many years. So, and he's a
Definitely.
very good player. Of course, he's a very good player, but we should use him as a player. We are not
Yeah,
utilizing his
definitely.
talent right
Definitely.
now.
Agree with you. Yeah, definitely agree with you. Okay. So I don't think so. We have any more questions. So again, okay, so we have a question from Summer. Okay, this is for Liverpool. So I would like to get in Chanel.
Yeah, hi Samar.
Yes.
You think Ancelotti
So
somehow as an
yes, you can already answer it.
versus Klopp in face-offs? I wonder why even at Napoli they trouble. At Napoli they trouble Liverpool. Yeah, they trouble them throughout, but they won one match which we faced. I think 3 or 4 matches. And I think Ancelotti has a very traditional approach towards his games. If you go to see, he's still in the 90s. Not an offense, but still, they Bayern sacked him because of his traditional approach. So I think Klopp is new. Klopp plays modern football the way he plays. And Ancelotti is, come on, man, Everton is the worst team he's managing throughout his career. I think the last time he managed a team like that was Parma back in 1998. So all these years he's managed big team and now he's managing a small team. So his mentality depends on how he's going to play. So he's definitely not going to, take an edge over Klopp. It's 2020 and not 1999. So I think Klopp's definitely has an edge over Ancelotti in the Premier League this season. Definitely.
Chanel, you mentioned Ancelotti's 1990s approach. Okay, all that is fine, but he still has way more trophies than Klopp has to show, whether it's at any club, whether it's Dortmund or like Klopp at Dortmund or Klopp at Liverpool. Obviously, like you mentioned, he's been coaching for a long period of time, but he did again win the Champions League with Madrid, which is not an easy task, as you all know, being the champions itself. So, don't you think it is a bit unfair on Ancelotti calling him a 90s manager as such?
He's a big money man. He's a big money man. He needs big budgets to actually win trophies. We saw that with Chelsea. We saw that with when he was in Chelsea, he signed Torres. He didn't win anything. We saw that with PSG when PSG takeover happened, and Ancelotti was the first manager they appointed. He had that big budget. He made that whole squad. Same with AC Milan. He had this crazy team so that he could win those 3 Champions League. Even it with Madrid, he had that good squad. And now he's come back to Everton, and Everton do not have that big budget. They still, invested quite a lot of money than Liverpool. But still, I don't think on the longer run he's going to have that money to invest in those players in that back line which he needs. So it will be great to see Ancelotti actually developing Everton with that less money budget which they always had and they've been having throughout. But I don't think on a longer run Everton Ancelotti is going to be there for a longer time.
But Liverpool as well went on to spend 200 million, then you all won the title.
Yeah, but the net balance was quite lower than that. We got that 200, and out of that 150 was from the money which we sold Coutinho for.
You can expect the same from Everton as well because Alan, James all have come in cheap. None of them have been cost like 60 million, 70 million. Like, not to be, even Jota came in for like
For,
controversy because 40 million. He hadn't been playing for Wolves a lot, and you all went on to spend 45 million on him.
but he's
So
young.
let's see. Let's see if you think whether Ancelotti stays or he goes. We hope that he stays because he's a great manager. Obviously, if the club has money, why not spend it? So,
Definitely.
so because I'm pretty sure you as Liverpool fan will be hoping that even you all spend some money because
We
Klopp
do.
being a great manager, Klopp being a great manager, if he has the money backing behind him, I'm definitely like sure 100% that he will be more consistent in the results as well, the trophies as well. So
Yeah.
thanks, Shana, for answering that. So do we have any other questions? Okay, so I don't think so. We have any other questions? Yes. So I would like to thank our audience on YouTube, on Facebook, our fan panelists for today's channel, Austin, Mihir, all three of you all was superb. Both are co-hosts. Okay, so we do have a question. So, okay, Austin, I would like to get you in.
Uh,
So the question for you is, do you think Aguero will be back in full form in time to get some wins for City in the coming games? Or do you think he'll miss spending time with his dog like we have seen on Instagram feed?
Um, no, I do think Aguero had a very good time with his dog till now, and but now it's time for him to come back and like start scoring. And I really hope that he does because all this time you could see everybody could see him like see his Instagram feed where he was like playing with his dog Capri, and I think I think the dog may have actually helped him in his recovery. And I just hope that for some weird reason the dog has a good effect on him, and then he's just back because he's been missed. He's
Yes,
actually been
because injuries are not only physical; they are mental
right,
as well, psychological as well. So I guess he must have helped in that way at least. So,
right.
like, do you think Aguero was the missing link in the past 4 games, 3 games, sorry, for City? Because you all have not been performing to the levels you all have been known for. Do you think
Uh,
Aguero was the missing link?
Yeah, to some extent, I can say yes, but not really because all Aguero does is he doesn't build up play as like he cannot build up play like as he used to. The very good quality that he has is his finishing, and we were not like missing the finishing qualities. Like our build up game was also like lacking in the last 4 games, and it is because of like we were missing the likes of Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and all those people in midfield.
Yeah,
So Aguero does play an important part for us because for the last 3-4 games we had no striker. We like did not have like a traditional striker playing for us. But then Aguero coming in will actually have a very good impact on the team, I would say. Yes.
yes. So let's see. We hope that he is again one of the top scorers in the Premier League, like he
Hopefully.
has been for the past many years. So thanks, Austin. I hope that answers the question asked. So, are there any more questions? Okay, so I don't think so. There are any more questions. So, Priyanka, over to you.
Okay, yeah. So, I think that was quite an interesting episode, quite an exciting episode. It was great to have the fan panelists, as you said. A big thank you to them. A big thank you to our fans for watching and sharing your thoughts and answering the questions, of course. And another big shout out and thank you to our sponsors, which is Chups and Bounce India. You can obviously follow them on their social medias. And yes, we also have our social media on Instagram, Facebook. We give like football updates. We also have our fantasy Premier League for all those who are playing. And we've recently announced the winners of after the game week 4. So lots of exciting things happening. Do keep following the Fanspire on all the social medias. Thank you, Gianna. Thank you, Vinny. Um, Thanks to everyone. So we'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Take care and good night.